Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Sorry, I did not get to check the tonnage because, hey, this is a stream of consciousness, modern, everyday sort of pod, which is different every day, right? Uh, it just started to rain out of nowhere and the wind has picked up. I don't really know how much time we're going to get together. At this point, 20 minutes or so. This is why I want 20 minutes being the minimum. I think five is a little too light. But oh, did you hear that? I have the other window open and the the front window here open, so the wind is coming through and swinging out. Uh, but I sort of want to open this window, which is it still raining? I think it. I think it stopped. You know what we're gonna do? Since we have the wind, I'm gonna go light some. Get it at. Yeah. So what we are gonna do is we're gonna get this thing burning again. Actually, you know what? We're gonna do it over here. Today is a pretty good Saturday. I had a conversation about. Sorry about that. I had a conversation about uh, Dave Chappelle and his special. I have to warn you with other black people, and they sort of agreed that it's sort of a thing that maybe other groups may not get, and it's so steeped in like blackness, and it's clever in the way that we get it. And he hits on things to talk about that we get. Let's hit this off, right? Clank, boing, that we get that maybe other people who are not familiar with our community don't get. Uh, so yeah, it feels like he's proving he's proven his own point with some of this stuff about how people view what he said, right? And now they're the victims of we black folk because we black folk have all this power to, get people fired to do whatever. So it's kind of like, and every time you begin to think, man, maybe I am a bad person, you realize, no, wait. What was the original intent of these shows, right? It seemed like if you watch the last one, it calls back to all the other shows he did, and that thing was about. And he mentioned it in a lot of his specials. Ooh, huh? Pretty nice. All right, this will get out all the evil spirits. Trust me. Wow, this one has not. You see this? Oh, well, maybe I need to look at the wind on this thing. It goes from straight up to like it's pretty nice. The power of the wind is an amazing thing. So this wind should keep this thing hustling. Ooh. Yeah. All right. So we'll put this here, and we'll put this on top of the speaker, and we will be thankful for our time together. How depending on how much time we get together. I also have to watch that just in case the spark flies off because the whole place is carpeted. Even though I like fire, incense, candles, this type of thing. But I'm also very drawn to the safety of these things. We have these things around. Uh, yeah, we're gonna tip this just slightly. Yep, Down to work. All right, so there you go. I think now we're good. Um, I once had a girlfriend, God bless her wherever she is in the world, and her family would have glasses of water like on windowsills, and I was like, "What is that about?" Um, had a really good conversation about why they did it and the spiritual benefits of it. Yeah, so there you go. I couldn't judge it too much because occasionally I do it. Um, but I don't believe catching, evil spirits and whatever. But I do believe in like some of the spiritual mysticism that we, the human animal, always believed in, right? Like before there was Christianity, people came up with burying their dead, and all this kind of like spiritual things, like the moon disappears, and the things we tell each other, uh, or tell the public as they try to, what's the word I'm looking for, as they need to be reassured, and you try to make sense of the world as leadership. Maybe you were a chieftain of 50 and you like the power, or you were a king of millions and you like the power, right? Yeah. So let's get at it. There's a couple of things we can hit today. I think we probably got a few minutes. Maybe we can probably hit the whole hour. I heard something fall in the other room. 5 times as many police officers have died from COVID-19 as from gunfire since the start of yeah, yeah. That's not yeah, I think a germ will kill more people than people can kill people. But it's why is this okay? And a lot of cops don't want to get vaccinated because a lot of cops are Republican. It's like the NRA is big with cops. It's like the people should be able to say if they want to be policed by you at this point. It's ridiculous. Hey William, good to see you on this Saturday. Uh, I think the rain has stopped. I want to say the rain has stopped. Maybe we might get the whole hour and change after it. I hope you're doing wild and interesting things with your time and energy. So yeah, so the cops don't want to. The cops are really with my guitar. It's in the other room. The cops are really a lot are Republican. They want this weird fuckery. Um, yeah. What is WeWork? Robert Durst, convicted murderer, has COVID-19. Yeah, he is like 70, but he did get to kill 3 people as a billionaire. So Bill Clinton is in the hospital with non-COVID related. So that's he's well, is he an elderly gentleman? How old is Bill Clinton? 70. When did you become an elderly gentleman? Do we want to go 65 or 75? Um, I don't know. I had a cousin die of COVID, and we were talking about it, and he was in hospice, had all this other stuff happening, and I was like, "Ah, he was in hospice," and my family member who came to visit me was like, "Yeah, he was old," and I was like, "Wasn't that old?" I was like, "He's like 10 or 12 years older than me," and I was like. And then we both looked at each other and sort of like laughed. But yeah, he had some issues. He's older, but he's not. I mean, how old is old? My grandmother lived to be like 100 plus. My grandfather lived to be 90 plus. So people in my family either live really long times or they drop dead before they're like 60. So David Chappelle has this thing about his COVID where he was like, the first 5 days was waiting to see how sick he was going to get. Right. And but then he was like, his antibodies fought it off. But that was a joke. And that, I guess that's true. Right. How sick are you going to get if you get this? Right. It's sort of playing like Russian roulette. It's the idea that you don't want to get it, but if you're forced to play, do you play and get a cough and come out fine, or or for some reason, you get all those dark issues that happen? Ugh, I'm so paranoid about COVID. I am so paranoid about COVID. But I guess if I get COVID, I just get COVID. Because no matter how, and it's been a year and change, no matter how safe you can be by wearing masks and doing all this stuff, you just get it, right? If I do get it, I hope it's super mild and like, but I got to tell you, the last time I got the regular old flu, it beat my ass. It really did. I really, really, really had a hard time with it. And I was like, oh, I actually could contemplate going to the emergency room. But here's the thing. Um, I rarely get sick, knock on wood, right? Um, when I do get sick, it's uncomfortable. And that's the cold, right? When I get colds, it's uncomfortable, but I rarely get them. And every 10 times I get the cold, right? I'd say for not even every 10 times, but every 5 times I get a cold, the sixth time I like get the flu. And it's always worse. So I get why the flu is super bad for the little babies. And I get why age beats up your body, and then the flu is really bad for older people. And I've got like 20 years of smoking under my not 20 years of smoking, but I smoked, right? But I also exercised and ran and jogged, was super active in this life of mine. And I think it's a coin. Well, it's probably not a coin flip. 70-30, 70-30. But I'm on an unlucky streak now. So I can't be fucking with COVID. Wow. So yeah, my cousin was not much older than I was when he died last week. I just want to play guitar. I want to make weird music for myself and leave it in the world. Uh, that's where I'm at. If Brian Laundrie remains are found, his parents can still be investigated. What did he do? He just walked into the desert, eventually died of thirst and hunger, and officer killed in new beat considered a career. This guy died on his first day on patrol, but the story is that he was considering a new career. It was his first day on patrol. First of all, that's sad to begin with. Just weeks ago, Dylan Harrison's father tried to persuade him to leave law enforcement to be an electrician and said, why would you do that? Instead, Harrison leave the Marine Corps to be uh, I was about to say garbage man. I don't want to disrespect garbage man. But I think the Marine Corps is a much more interesting job and you're called to it, right? I'm not in the Marine Corps or whatever. You can't do what your parents want you to do so they can be happy. You have to. That's sad though. On his first part time shift with a new agency, Harrison was shot dead last weekend in Middle Georgia. The place is called Middle Georgia. In Middle Georgia. He sought the second job to supplement his full time duty with a drug task force elsewhere in the state. You shouldn't have to risk your life and then take on a second gig to support your life. Pay these. I mean, look, I want you to do right. I want the cops to do right by the citizenry. I'm always on that. But pay your cops correctly. And don't let them take it over. Don't let the fucking knuckleheads run the consortium. Wow, it stopped raining, but the wind is still here. It's fairly incredible. Um, Ahead of the Harrison funeral Friday, his relatives remembered a man always drawn to public service and to doing well by his wife and infant son. He's among at least 111 U.S. law enforcement officers who have died this year in the line of duty from non-medical causes, according to nonprofits that track such deaths. Yeah, cops don't just die by like shootings. Most of them are run over by people not fucking drunk drivers or whatever. And even not even more, but a less than I think a third is like you come into contact with hazardous shit because you're the first to walk into a room. Then all of a sudden there's you know some containment leak, and yeah, so it is a dangerous gig. But that doesn't mean you should be allowed to fucking kill people because you're having a pissy day or because you're afraid or whatever the fuck a lot of these guys are doing here. And shame on all those agencies who support them because I'm sure you let one or two idiots taint your whole agency. How many people are doing it right? Harrison's mother, Kathy Harrison, told CNN Harrison's father was trying hard to get him to apply for a job in the electrical field because he had just obtained his electrical license certificate. He told me a few weeks ago, Daddy, I love what I'm doing. I love helping people. I did love helping people. I did. Yeah. So I totally get that. There's nothing you get from help like the energy you get from fucking helping people, right? It's got to be the opposite bullshit you get from being a bully. Harrison's uncle shared a similar memory. He told us that he wouldn't be happy unless he was in law enforcement officer. On his first day, everybody's always the kindest. That's the thing. Like, no one who ever dies and makes a newspaper, no one ever goes, that dude was a humpy piece of shit, right? They're always the great people. I wonder what they'll say about me when I kick. He had a big fucking mouth and he wouldn't shut up. Assistant to House Sergeant at Arms, your Congress, charged with possession of child pornography. Incredible. Woman gives birth to a 14-pound baby in Arizona. Is 14 pounds a lot? I don't know a lot about babies. Is that a little? I think it's a lot. Um, Billie Eilish calls out Jimmy. Can't see. I don't like celebrity, but this whole I'm the victim of somebody's shit that is so big in the world today. You should have said something about it then. Vanity Fair. Ugh, it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I don't even know what to say about some of the daily occurrences that are going on in this country. After advocates left the meeting with they left. So you're saying that they walked out on the president of the United States? Advocates left a meeting with Biden over plans to restart Trump era border policy. This is man, this country is fucking falling into the shitter. You're never gonna get what you want. So instead of all these boutique issues, what do we stand for? Tell me. Oh my God, it's so tiring. Yeah, my whole and I said it before on this podcast. I used to march for the gays and the transgender. They keep adding letters, and I'm like, they lost me a while ago. But at the end of the day, when someone's always pointing their finger at you to big themselves up like this Chappelle thing, I'm like, I think he made a lot of good points that maybe you should have a rebuttal for versus the dark energy of I want him canceled and he's a he said some things. What is your rebuttal? And all these trans gay comedians take him up at his own game. Do your special about it. Do some stand up about it. They don't. They just come out with harsh, he's a racist because I say so and he should be canceled. I thought you were a comedian. I thought your whole thing was word games and word play and looking on the odd side of an issue or the humorous side of anything. How anything can be humorous. And yet what you're doing is just demanding a lynching, quite frankly, because your feelings are hurt. And this goes back to what I've been saying when I started this thing. Some of these people who claim to be our allies, are they really our allies? Why the fuck am I even dealing with you? I was telling somebody the gay. I've said this before 1,000 times too. The gay community is essentially run by the establishment of wealthy white people who are gay, who happen to be gay. And the perk of that is going, well, I'm gay, and then the gay blacks will join, and the gay Latinos will join, and the gay Asians will join, and you increase your number for voting purposes. But at the end of the day, you're essentially, I mean, who funded a lot of this? Geffen, didn't he, in the 80s? So yeah, I support you. But at the end of the day, when I have a problem with you, if you can just turn on this spigot of all the bad things about America and aim it at me, I'm not going to march for you anymore. And shame on me for marching for you in the first place. So then your retort should be, oh wow, man, wow, really? Is that how you see that? Man, I as a gay person feel bad that you view it that way. Let me explain an alternative view and maybe this way. And then in the middle of not explaining, but after I explain, I will show how serious I am by then um taking steps to exchange or explain or mitigate my actions for that make you feel the way you're feeling, which means, oh wow, well, oh, wow, we're attacking Dave Chappelle. Maybe we're gonna do that. Maybe we will approach this differently because we still have a disagreement with what he said. Versus cancel Dave Chappelle, cancel Netflix. Anybody who likes what he said is a piece of shit, right? I will have my way, period, because I'm used to it. I have the money and the power. And Dave Chappelle said something really interesting in that special. The baby killed the guy in Walmart. And you're not stressed about that as much as you're stressed about what he said about your community. This tells me a lot. So this also ties into politics. All those people are supposed to be Democrats, but I, as a Democrat, have not felt the Democratic Party has done right by me. And then other people within the Democratic Party shoot arrows at me because I won't do what they want. Then why am I voting for the Democratic Party? Mind you, my constituency is the largest constituency in the Democratic Party. The longest uh, believers in the dream of whatever the Democratic Party is since the realignment in the late 50s, early 60s, right? Maybe late 60s, early 70s. No, the realignment was Dr. King. Dr. King was a Republican, by the way. So yeah. And then the realignment was after Kennedy was assassinated. Because Kennedy was a Democrat. And back then, the Democrats were all for racial bullshit. So Kennedy was a Democrat. And the magic of the weirdness of what happened was Dr. King, a Republican, is killed. Uh, Kennedy, a Democrat, not a Southern Democrat, but a Northern one, is killed. And somehow all the liberals and hippies associated themselves with Kennedy, who was a Democrat. And that's where the shits began to churn. Mind you, in 68, um, Nixon, a Republican, by then is demonized, right? As well as the Republican Party and Ronald Reagan. But 10 years before that, all the Republicans, all the people who marched on Washington were all were all Republicans. So I mean, it really is. It really is hard to. Ooh, it rude. It really is hard to talk history with people when people don't know recent history. I'm not asking you to know when George Washington was born or when he crossed the Delaware. I'm just asking you to know what happened in the last 25 years before you were born, and you don't need to know the 25 years after you were born, but you should. After you die, rather, but you should. You should hang around like a ghost and peeking on your family. Ooh, let's set the whole place on fire. All right, so that's a little bit of history for us. Officer Down Memorial. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. It was 13 minutes ago. Yeah, Officer Down Memorial webpage filled with police and correction officers who have died from COVID. Yeah, they're not really feeling, you know, they're not really feeling the what's the word I'm looking for? I looked for you. You let these people become their own thing, and that's a problem. They shouldn't be. The idea that during a pandemic, all these cops are being abstinent and you is ridiculous. It's a fucking global pandemic. And today, President Joe Biden spoke at the police national memorial and managed to go, "Oh yeah, you probably shouldn't kill innocent people." Good job, Joe Biden. Way to be president. His whole history with that organization goes back forever. Back to that police bill, that one strike bill that they and he's still and now what is his do we even want to look at his poll numbers? I'm gonna wait till Monday to look at his poll numbers. His poll numbers should be horrible because he hasn't done anything. And I keep saying the midterms are gonna be ridiculous. The midterms are gonna be a rout. When was sunset tonight?
Sunset was at 6:25 p.m. today.
Wow, okay. When is sunset tomorrow?
Sunset tomorrow will be at 6:24 p.m.
A minute off. All right. It is 7 o'clock right now here on the eastern coast of these here United States of America. Um, I gotta tell you, I have to clear this iPhone and then sell it, and it's just sitting here. Ah, I gotta tell you. Sometimes I wonder what kind of person I'd be if I had gotten married and had a family. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be this interesting or this crazy. Interesting and crazy is a coin flip, by the way. Um, I'm oh, good lord. Late in my life, my midlife crisis has me chasing music. Who does that? Why not just get a 20-year-old girlfriend and a new car? Lord, ugh, my whole brain hurts. I had to take a nap today because I burnt my brain on music. I've been trying to find progressions. It's a long story because I was like, all right, maybe learning music isn't my thing because I'm so fucking weird. Maybe putting together very simple, basic songs will help me out. So that's what I'm doing now. So today I spent all day thinking of song titles, and I have two, and I'm not going to tell you what they are. Um, Also, someone agreed with me and told me I should move this whole thing to Twitch. You can still do 1,000 days on Twitch, but I'm a creature of habit. We keep talking about this guy Brian Laundry. Laundry is it Laundry or Laundry? I have to hear somebody pronounce his name. Uh, clickety, clickety, click. All right. Brian Landry. I just want to hear one person pronounce his name. How do you put this on YouTube? I mean, this is what I'm talking about. The problem with the society is. Ugh, hold on, wait a minute. Ugh, hold on, wait a minute. Ugh, okay, I was trying to highlight it. This said Brian Laundry, sighting, right? Arrested fugitive in Florida. This is obvious. This was yesterday. I mean, this is obviously a lie because he's obviously a day later not arrested. Dude, man, I thought we were homies. Why are you making me feel bad about my ancientdom? Um, Brian Laundrie Powell claims Gabby's fiance has resources. Oh, really? His friend said that? Here's the way this works. They will look for him, then they will put their resources in other places, and they will just keep an eye out for when his name pops up or his credit card pops up or a sighting of him, and they will go, this one seems credible. This one doesn't seem credible. I saw Brian Laundrie in the middle of the ocean on a unicorn. Yeah, okay, we're gonna mark that as not credible. Oh, I saw Brian Laundrie here at this place, and he was in this car, and then you look out for you find out that the family took a vacation in that location that that person could have known about. Then you go, huh, maybe they did meet up with him, right? So then all these things is how that works out. But what is his name? Is it Landry? Is it Laundry? It's not Laundry. Nobody wants to be named Laundry. It's not Brian Laundry. Laundry. Is it Laundry? Laundry? I'm looking for something really short. Brian Laundry, armed cops training at Carlton. What? Here's the thing. How much money are we going to use looking for this? Because it's a sensationalized media story. Brian Laundrie remains at large 4 weeks after he was reported missing. All right, this ought to be good. The Sun. Brian Laundrie. So everyone may have pics or text proving Gabby Petito's fiance is in Carlton Reserve. Okay, so you know where he is. Go pick him up. He's only 23. People are so fucking stupid. But this is what happens when everybody gets a pony. People react on emotion and their own kind of like, I deserve it instinct or I want it instinct. And then like the society doesn't run on that. I've told a few friends of mine, you're raising him to be weak and coddled, and then you're gonna die and you're gonna leave him in the world weak and coddled, and he will be unhappy. Let him lose some shit sometimes. If you don't mind me telling you, I had this conversation with my sister about my nephew. Because he used to be a real mama's boy. And his dad was laid back and easy about it. They're fine. Let him sit up on his mom. I don't care. And I got to tell you, I've met these people. And one day I took my sister aside and I was like, girl, I love you. And I'm not telling you how to raise your boy. And I love you. but, and I love him. But because the way you approach this, you got to let people know I'm just saying, I'm not saying, I'm just saying. And we talked about it for like 40 minutes. And I told her, look, you're going to leave him in the world and no woman will want him because you will have made him squishy. And to my sister's credit, she wasn't mean to me about it. But that was like 10 years ago. And now he's totally different. Right. And just at the time when he was about 10, I was like, you can't do this much longer. Because by the time he's 16, it's going to be too late. Let him get in the fights now and blah, 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 blah. And now, wait, no, he's about 12. He was between 10 and 12. Um, and yeah, Now he's the coolest kid with all the coolest friends. But there's nothing wrong with being a mama's boy. But you don't want to make a squishy person, right? You don't want your daughters to be raised that somebody would do whatever for them like you did, right? I'd said this before. A lot of dudes, a lot of women are dating guys and treating them like one, they're their sex partner, as well as their wishing post, right? It's like, mm, what is going on here? One of my favorites is there was this YouTube woman who had videos going up, and her boyfriend helped her, and then they broke up, and then she had this session where she was really mad that who's going to edit my video. I was like, why don't you edit your own videos? Like, it was all this. How dare now that he's gone, all this stuff that I need done. Who's going to do it? What? I now I know why he left, right? And that whole, but it is what it is. It is what it is. You're gonna travel together with somebody in a van. You better like each other. And if you stop liking each other, you better be bold enough to go, all right, look, let's back off this thing and just be business partners and get this thing done and finish. Right? That means you're about your word and your discipline. And if you can't do that, then you either go. But the idea that this 23-year-old killed a girl, like there was, man, it doesn't make any sense. Who raised you to be this guy? And I blame you because you should have walked away. I think she, and not don't know her, but from what I've seen and heard about this whole thing, and having said what I just told you, she seems like a someone who I want to be careful about this. She seems like someone who expected a lot from someone, uh, because she was one important, right? You're darling, you're the greatest, and no one's more important than you, and you can do it, right? So she had a lot of that good energy. I'm out in the world, I'm doing some shit. But when it all goes bad, you got to be able to salvage the shit yourself and refix it, right? And I think she was doing shit with help of other people. If you like me, you'll do this for me. Um, and there's a lot of that on the internet. You'll spy a lot of that. Um, when men do it, it's called manipulation. When women do it, it's called, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, she could have taken this van trip by herself, edited these things, but that's also dangerous as for a young woman to just be out in the world driving around in a van, meeting random strangers, right? Not everybody's well adjusted in what's the word I'm looking for. Not everyone, you know what I'm saying? Uh, it's dangerous, and people want to travel. I've met women who traveled the world who told me stupid stories where I was just kind of like, "You are lucky you're not dead." But who am I to tell you not to take your life into your own hands? It is your own hands. It is your life. Uh, yeah, it's a tragedy that should not have happened. Um, but I think you're going to see these people around for a while. Maybe the new generation will bring back love and loyalty and marriage and common sense. But a lot of this seems stupid. Woman of the Year, like Dave Chappelle said, right? Bruce Jenner won Woman of the Year. How's that even a thing? The rest of you bitches are slipping if a dude, I'm sorry, if a once former dude won Woman of the Year. How long have you been a woman? Right? I'm supporting you, but at some point it gets to be ridiculous. And then you lose my support. And then what happens is people then begin to attack you because they need to maintain their solvency and they don't care that you at one point supported them. Whatever's whatever, homie. Right? I have no power. I have no following. I'm just a regular dude, and I'm easy to get rid of. So let's remember it is Saturday. Uh, you should be doing some interesting. And where's my guitar? It's in the other room. You should be doing some interesting and good shit for yourself. Um, you should just be taking a 2 day break off from work. That's not what we want. We want you to actually use your weekends for you and your good energy and your good family. Have it out with good arguments. So in 10 years, people, God, remember an argument we had and the whole family yelled, right? And that's valuable. I remember a game we played, the whole family lost, and we all laughed. That's valuable. These bonding experiences for family is important. And I don't think anybody's doing it anymore. Uh, I'm from like I said, I'm from a fairly big family. A lot of different people and personality types. So I can deal with a lot of different people and a lot of different personalities. But I meet some people who aren't from big families, don't know a lot of people, and really only like one of three things: themselves, their friends until their friends aren't their friends anymore, and eating. Right. So you wonder how you can connect to these people to make them realize that it's a big wide world out there, and it's not always about them. Who knows, man? We all have we all come to our moments, right? We all like I'm in the middle of my midlife crisis. When is midlife crisis? Maybe I'm still in my midlife crisis. I think my midlife crisis was 10 years ago. I'm still in it. I am hungry. I have food in there. There's no way I can actually warm up something and bring it in here. I do have I have, I have wings in there. All right. So what we're gonna do is where's my phone? That's my here it is. We're gonna look up a story that's a happy story. Not about my old age, William. I'm looking at you when I say that. 23 years old, killed a woman. Yeah. If you are given all the mercy of the court, the minimum you're going to do is 15 years, right? If they throw the book at you, it's life in prison. So that's the average person lives to be 75, let's say, right? That's twice the amount of time in jail as out of it. I mean, people are just emotionally ridiculous. And that's the problem. I really do think that a lot of these relationships break up because people are emotionally ridiculous. Some people shouldn't have gotten married, and some people who got married should have fought it out. And I think that would have cut the divorce rate. I mean, half the people who get married, it's more than half now. I think it would have cut the divorce rate by at least 25%. Because not everybody who gets married is going to stay married. I accept that, but I think people get married and not married for stupid reasons, really, really stupid reasons. Um, and it's never the children, which is sad. It's never the children. Yeah, all these children without like what are you gonna call it, full households, moms and dads. That shit's important. Steve Bannon and Marjorie Taylor Greene discuss national divorce between red and blue states. What does that even mean? Is that a clever way of saying yet again another civil war? Arrest the both of them and throw them in jail. People are fucking stupid. They keep floating this idea of a second American Civil War. It's the most stupid and sinister shit ever. Once the fucking killing start, it's gonna be really hard to stop. William Shatner blames 50-year-old grudge for George Takei space trip insult. Yeah, why you even? What, you're 140 years old, George Takei. Why are you even being catty? Right? Here's the thing. This is a true story. Okay, this is based on a true story. How about that? If I'm a straight guy and I'm walking and you go, um, you look stupid as a gay person. You look stupid in that hat. And I go, mind your fucking business. and you go and you look stupid in those shoes, right? So now we have a conflict. If I hit you, all of a sudden you're a special class of person, right? And it's because you're gay, or is it because you're fucking talking out your face and you're starting to fight? You've managed to make people snotty and aggressive and arrogant with no recourse to that behavior. And usually a fight is the recourse to that behavior, right? How's it not? So essentially you work the situation out where I can say anything to you uh, with all the aggression in the world, and you have to take it. You can't be like, fuck you, I'll kick your ass. Oh, that's a threat because I'm gay. And that, like a fight that would have been disturbing the peace, you both pay $100 fine and go about your business, is now not a sex crime, is a gender crime. What do they call it? It's a hate crime. It's a hate crime, right? It's a hate crime against gays, and now it's a 10-year sentence. Be careful. A lot of this is a trap. I get to be important by sending you to prison. It's not new in America. America has always had these people, right? Emmett Till was killed by one of these people. The law will change and be different from the 1820s to the 1920s to the 2020s, but it's still the same fucking bullshit. It really is. Um, like I say, I like you to like me, so I tell you what I really think. I don't tell you what I can say to get you to buy a T-shirt, right? You know what I'm saying? And then you find out through some expose somewhere that I used to hang out. I'm over here going, yeah, let's get all the pussy and fuck all the women because we like titties and sex, sex, sex. And you find that down in all the gay chat rooms, I'm only sleeping with guys and I hate women. You're like, that guy was a totally different thing online, right? No, I tell you exactly what I believe, right? There's no shadows or smoking mirrors with me. I don't understand the gay community. I was your biggest ally, and then you fucked me over. Why should I support you? Explain it to me, right? I don't understand why the legal system is still letting cops run around and be ridiculous. Explain it to me. I'm critical of cops. I'm critical of some of these other uh, movements, not move. Well, yeah, who claim to be like, and I see them doing the same thing as other groups have done. Explain yourself. I don't want to explain myself. I just want to cancel you. I just want to associate everything you say with evil or ineptitude, like we've always done. Yeah, okay. I don't want to. I don't want to march with you. I'm not going to vote for who you want me to vote for. And if you vote for them and I vote for them, then there's something wrong with either you, me, or him. Everybody voted for Joe Biden. Joe Biden had a 50-year record of just being, quite frankly, racist. I think with these votes, the things he said. I pray, right? Look, here's the thing. And does this country even demonize like Christians? Like if you're a Christian, all of a sudden you're some weird sicko. It's like it's worse to be a Christian than it is to be a racist. And I told people before, I don't like your church if you don't have a soup kitchen. What are you doing for the populace? Right? I'm critical of churches. I'm critical of religion. It just shows that I'm losing my mind. That's what it shows. It doesn't show that I'm right. Doesn't show that I'm adept at it. It just shows that I'm focused in a totally different place. I don't think that you should be able to. You should be able. I don't think that you should go broke in this world because your kid gets cancer, right? Your kid gets leukemia. All of a sudden, you're in the hole to mortgage your house and all this stuff. I think that's just wrong. Business people think it's fine. Everyone else on your television set won't even breach the topic unless someone brings it up to them in an election, and then they dance around it. I mean, we as Americans have had so much faith in people who that we shouldn't have. And eventually you fall off the wagon. And here I am off the wagon going, wait, what the fuck is going on here? And but for a very long time, born in this system, you know, you don't think about it. You don't think about it. And we have this really just kind of fucked environment now. Uh, and all the cracks are beginning to show. And our enemies are emboldened outside our borders and they're encroaching. So how you gonna get all these people to go, wow, America is worth saving? Y'all all go die for Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, who's a South African Canadian. It's just like, get out of here. Fuck all of you. You all suck. Send your kids. Pow. You're on TV as being, a cult or a socialist or a closet this or openly sinister that or whatever the fuck it is. Someone's got to come. I started this pod teaching myself guitar and telling you I wasn't going to talk politics. Now I'm talking politics and doing very little guitar. Where's my guitar? Oh, it's in the other room. It's your life. You get one of them. You need allies. Because here in America, woohoo, in America, I got to tell you, it's always conflict driven. Even as I think, I wouldn't say it's the death throes of racism, but I would say even as racism is more talked about, it's also more openly used for people to get power. Like Kamala Harris. Don't get me wrong, she's the vice president. It's a rough way to go. It really is. Because you don't really do anything other than breaking votes uh, and get to sit in. But if Dick Cheney reinvented the vice presidency, I don't see why it would have to go back to being a postcard position. And if tomorrow or by Christmas, remember I said that, your president Joe Biden becomes incapacitated because he is 1 trillion years old, she becomes the first woman president just by fucking default. And then she can really stick her foot in it. Yeah, I don't think he's going to make it to 2022. It's weird because I was like, man, 4 years. And then I was thinking, every time I see him, he looks worse. Okay, so if I see him in 2 weeks, how worse will he look? If I see him in 6 weeks, how worse will he look? And then I was like, I did my own stupid math because I'm an idiot. And I was like, oh my God, that dude might not be here by Valentine's Day. You want to get a Deadpool going against the president of the United States? Yeah, good luck with that. Watch how fast the fucking Secret First Service shows up at your door and tell you that you put your jelly and peanut butter together. Put your peanut butter and jelly together, jelly and peanut butter first. So we're launching an investigation into the kind of person you are, and that'll be your ass. No one can stand up against the might of their government because you're just a single person, and the government is essentially a government. Yeah, it's funny. I told you that story about water right earlier today. How you put water on? You know what? We should look this up. Do you want to look up cups of water on windowsills? What is the water on a windowsill? That's supposed to be cups. Water could bring coming in. Why is water? No, 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 no. No, it's cups of water. It's cups of water. How do I phrase this? Juices in water glasses, drink glasses, 22 easy. It's how comfort. Why should you avoid leaving glass of water near your bed? What's your water glass say about you? Well, I guess it must be a super niche thing then. I would always keep a glass of water near my bed because sometimes I would wake up and be thirsty. Why would you not? It's not like water is going to go bad because it's in a glass by your bed. Is it bad to drink water that's been sitting overnight? Why would that be bad? Uh, Manifest your desire with a glass of water. Spiritual law of attraction, water restructuring glass bottles. 2 cup method using water works like magic. How much water should I drink every day? Put a glass of water under your bed. See what happens. Under your bed. Remove negative energy from your home with just a glass of water. Right? So I mean, I know what you're thinking, and but you're like, what? But yeah, it's a thing. And I have a bend toward the elements, earth, right, water, fire, smoke, which is a little bit of both. It's fire and air. Um, I'm for sweating and drinking a lot of water and listening to the moon and all these weird, odd things that I think are fun. You might think are weird, but other people find fun in other stupid, more sinister measures, right? We all have something. What interests you? And where would it lead you? My weird quirkiness has led me to what? Finally led me to music, which now has me thinking about the films, right? So look, man, uh, do I say man? Look, person, look, listener, watcher, right? Um, what's more important here in your days? What's more important? Being a fan of Beyonce or Prince or whoever, or trying to get your message into the world, right? And if you, whatever your message is, you can get it into the world. I'm not saying a billion people are going to know it, right? Like Prince or anybody else or whatever it is. But everybody's got an internet connection. Everybody can upload anything. What is your message to the world? And that doesn't have to be like a manifesto. It could just be like, oh, I'm a cook, or I teach school. Let me teach music on the internet, right? Or spelling or math on the internet, or whatever, right? And then before you know it, excuse me, then before you know it, you're running at something regularly and thinking about something and focused on something, and you're running in a direction. Once you begin running, you can always change the direction of the speech you're running at. Right. So I started playing music. Now I'm talking to you. By January, this whole daily thing is going to be different. But I think you really do have to get off that thing and then dance until you feel better. What do you think about that? All right. So the rain has stopped raining. It is 7:30. We have incense, not incense. We have sage burning. Oh, that's not good. Okay, well, I guess that is good. Ooh. But remember, if you mess with fire in your home, keep an eye on it. Don't go to sleep. Let it burn. I'm gonna go grab my. Shall I leave my guitar in the other room? I am not gonna play the guitar. Uh, but yeah, we were talking about yesterday about keystone habits and stuff, right? And my keystone habit used to, I guess, be working out. Not really working out, running. When I was young, about 16 to 19, I worked out. And then when I got older, 16, 19, 20, 25, right? About 27, uh, I began running very lazily, and that's began to take it seriously. Like 10 years after that, 37, 30, right, right. Um, I've been running for like 20 years, 35 or so, right? I've been running for like 20 years or so. Um, but I never entered a race. And I was thinking today, you haven't ran for like 3 or 4 or 5 years. You should you should enter a race. So I think I'm gonna look for a race to enter a 3K, 5K, I'm sorry, 5K, which is 3 miles, uh, as just an experiment on my physicality. Because, like I said, the whole thing about the Keystone concept is you do one thing that bleeds into all this other shit. I did a lot of running. Um, Look, if we all know Star Trek, right? The idea that you can, how can I phrase this? You can be formidable, right, and fun, right? I know that it's more of a military like space show, but it really, the guy who wrote it, Gene Roddenberry, was a cop, right? So it really has sort of a cop precinct floating around the galaxy kind of vibe to it to me, right? And that's why is everything isn't murder, murder, murder. Some of it is talking to people, seeing who did what, right? So it really is like the difference between it being called Star Precinct is the fact that they travel around versus you coming to their precinct station on the planetoid or whatever the case may be. And the idea that, well, you should be fit, you should be well read, like that show taught you as a kid, right? You should try and be physically fit. You should try and know a lot of stuff, and when you're not working, you should have an inner life, right? Um, some people paint, some people draw, some people uh, play musical instruments. And you look at that, and then you compare it to real life, which is just people are just they work and then they come home and they cut the TV on, and they've got no rich inner thing going on. The only thing that you can get them to do is to hate another group, and I think that's because they don't have a lot going on inner personally, right? In their inner core, their inner monologue, right? So, and then you see somebody who has something going on, and you have to find a reason not to like them. One of these things is like Kim Kardashian, who everybody goes, she doesn't, she makes money. She doesn't. But yeah, if you could make money without doing anything, you'd be happy to do it, right? So even by your own standards of hating her, you would do you would be happy to swap out. She'd have to kill anybody. What, she had some sex with some people. There may be a sex tape, and now she's worth $1 billion. Never sold anybody any bad anything. Never told. You know what I'm saying? And I think if people had an inner whatever, because some people do. Some people have an inner thing. They put it on the internet, like that Shawn Mendes guy, right? He got famous putting music on the internet, and now he's a professional, famous, super rich musician. Justin Bieber did too, right? Justin Bieber started out with a YouTube channel in Canada. Now he's a global superstar. But he was a boy then. But I'm saying if you're 25 and you give up hating other people and go, maybe I should go back to playing this guitar, singing these songs, and I put my song, you may very well be in a very different world in 5 or 10 years. And I mean by that in both ways. You could be rich and be a Grammy Award or whatever the thing you're doing, right? Or you could just be happily anonymous but happy. I get a lot of shit about like the way I talk about cops. Like I hate cops, which is fucking ridiculous. And I feel that's a lazy answer to what I'm saying. But the cops should not be able to roll up and disrespect you and your woman to show that they have power over you. They should be able to kill you. They should be able to drag you out your car by your hair, like that paraplegic. Doesn't make any sense that they're policemen or women. Like those two women cops who saw a shooting and just turned the corner and went about their business. You're a policeman. What are you doing? This really is outrageous. It really is sort of ridiculous. We become a what's the word? We sort of become like some European bird. Who believes these people anymore? I don't know. I don't know. But like I told you, this is my midlife crisis. I'm obviously going crazy. But I'm gonna learn to play this guitar and tell you about the politics as I see it. And maybe I will find clarity. Uh we'll see what happens. Teen girls developing tics. What are you talking about? They're developing tics. All right, hold on. I'm gonna put your quote in there. Teen girls are developing tics. Doctors say TikTok could be a factor. The Wall Street. Why would a teenager develop tics? In children and teens, tics are often triggered by two different types of situations. First, they can be triggered by situations involving high levels of intense emotion, eh, like excitement, stress, anger, blah, blah, blah. Wow, really? They're developing Tourette's? Here's the problem. I can solve this for you right now. Stop coddling these people. Because by the time they're out of your house and told that they're special little angelic cherubs, and they meet me in the street on the Q5 bus in Queens or the F train in Brooklyn, and I'm like, fuck you, get the fuck out of my way. Now all of a sudden they've got weeks of trying to get over that moment that lasted, fuck you, get out of my way, 3 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Some of this shit you have to roll off your back. And other people are raising children who have no sympathy or empathy at all and are just, quite frankly, murder machines waiting to happen. Right? Uh wow. All right. We're gonna you know what? Let's get into this. Teen girls are developing tics. Doctors say TikTok could be a factor. And I would also like to warn you, ladies, if you're going to be this fragile and everybody writes stories about this, well, then me and my man friends are going to have to protect you. And we're going to write laws so you don't get tics and you don't get disrespected by the men in the. How about you can't leave the house without a man? Oh, the Afghanistan has that. How about you can't leave the house? Oh, or what are some of those other fucking laws they have about women? I think that's the craziest one, right? You can't leave you can't. It's fucking ridiculous. So this kind of thing is what I'm always talking about. Like I don't want to mansplain to you, but you better fucking have a group of women who will womansplain to other women what is really at stake here. I'm so delicate. I need to be protected. I got you. You can't leave the house. You can't, right? And working is leaving the house. This whole thing is really fucking up. Who wrote this? Julie Jargon. Yeah, see, you better watch some of these modern feminists because, like I said, when you end up a prostitute, it's generally not a guy who talked you into it. It's generally a woman who talked you into it, the porn industry, and then took you to her guy. So dark. Teenage girls across the globe have been showing up at doctors' offices with tics, physical jerky movement, and verbal outbursts since the start of the pandemic. I want to rock. No one ever says that, right? I want to rock, which is a rock lyric from Twisted Sister, right? I want to rock. Dun, 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 dun. I want to. Stands up, baby. So, my God, ladies, I am for you, but seriously, you can't say I rule the world and then have issues like this show up in the press without someone going, you know what they'll say? We need more resources for women. We need more stuff so we can be like, this wouldn't happen if you coddled us more. Movement disorder doctors are stumped at first. I'm sorry. Movement disorder doctors were stumped at first. Girls with tics are rare. Really? Girls with tics are rare? So more guys have tics than girls is what this is telling me? And these teens have an unusually high number of them, which have developed suddenly after months of studying the patients and consulting with one another. Efforts at you have to tell us at the top, pediatric hospitals in the US, Canada, Australia, and the UK. It's one just say the West. Discovered that most of the girls had something in common. TikTok. I'm putting this under bullshit. I'm already putting this under bullshit. This already has the sense of if your kids listen to heavy metal, they're devil worshippers. If your kids play D&D, they'll commit suicide. You know, this already has that shitty vibe of this thing is a popular thing that kids are into's fault, and you should be afraid. Come back tomorrow for more fear. Ugh. According to the spat of recent medical journal articles, doctors say the girls have been watching videos of TikTok influencers who said they had Tourette's syndrome, a nervous system disorder that causes people to make repetitive, involuntary movements or sounds. No one has tracked these cases nationally, but pediatric movement disorder centers across the U.S. are reporting an influx of teen girls with similar tics. Donald Gilbert, a neurologist at Cincinnati's Children's Hospital Medical Center, who specialized in pediatric movement disorder and Tourette syndrome. Pediatric movement disorder and Tourette syndrome has seen about 10 new teens with the tics a month since March 2020. Before the pandemic, his clinic has seen at most one a month. Wait, so let's go back up here. Is this one? At top page, UK. Okay. According to a spate of recent medical journals, so a bunch of them. Let's look up the word spate just so we're not completely off center. Spate.
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 Spate?
Spate.
Okay, spate. Spate.
Spate.
All right, spate. A large number of similar things or events appearing or occurring in quick succession. In quick succession might be the key word here. A British flood in a river, especially one caused by heavy rains or melting snow. All right, we're going to get rid of you. We're going to come back to you. Doctors say the girls have been watching TikTok video influencers who said they had Tourette's. So the doctor said the people that they were looking at were watching TikTok people who had Tourette syndromes or nervous disorders. Maybe me watching quirky people makes me quirky. Could that be it? Maybe all the kids watching TikTok in your vicinity or in your practice are like 1,000 people, 1,000 kids. But 10 kids walked in because those 10 kids are watching these type of TikTok videos. Okay, I like that logic. Let's go with that. According to a spate of recent medical journal articles, doctors say the girls have been watching videos of TikTok influencers who said the TikTok influencers who said they had Tourette syndromes and nervous disorders. Okay. No one has tracked these cases nationally. Then why are you talking about it? But pediatric movement disorder across the US are reported at influx of teen girls. 10 new, the last one was one a month. Especially at the major institutes have they're not. I mean, what is the name of these? You mentioned one guy and where he works, and now you're going all these other people's all over the place, many hospitals. You're like, you're not really giving a lot other than uh specials at other major. What are the other major institutes? Other major institutes have also reported similar surges since March 2020. Texas Children's Hospital have reported seeing approximately 60 teens with such tics, whereas doctors there saw one or two cases a year before the pandemic. At Johns Hopkins, that's two, saying 10 to 20% of people have described acute onset TikTok-like behavior, up from 2 to 3%. According to Joseph McGuire, an associate professor in the University Department of Physi- I'm sorry, Physiatry, Department of Psychiatry and Behavioral Sciences. I'm sorry, Physiatry. I did actually said that. Physiatry. Behavioral Sciences between March and June this year. Rush University Medical Center in Chicago saw 20%. Okay, so I take back what I said. You actually filled in my concerns with like 4 or 5 hospitals. Doctors say most of the teens have previously diagnosed anxiety or depression that was brought on or exacerbated by the pandemic. Oh, so you're dealing with super sensitive people, children, but yeah, super sensitive people. Physical symptom of psychological distress often manifests in ways that patients have seen before, right? So some people cut themselves, psychological stress, right? Cutters. Some people pull their hair out, psychological stress. Okay, we've been streaming for an hour and 17 minutes. I wonder if girls are swearing. Yeah, girls swear a lot. And it manifests. So these girls, other super sensitive girls, become sexual, right? I mean, it is what it is with the human animal. Other become violent, right? Other become withdrawn. Yeah, these are. I mean, some girls will get uh pregnancy symptoms, psychological pregnancy symptoms, like won't be pregnant, but like will have lactation issues and it's fucking your mind is a fucking if you can get hold of your mind, you can rule the world, at least your world. Um, the human mind will fucking make your body do weird shit on belief. That's the power of belief. There are plenty of TikTok like behavior witnesses where doctors in the UK began studying the phenomenon in January. There are plenty of TikTok behaviors to witness on TikTok. That's a weird sentence. There are plenty of TikTok behaviors to witness on TikTok. When doctors in UK began studying the phenomenon in January of this year, video containing the hashtag Tourette's had about 1.25 billion views. Good lord! According to boy, are we even still there? I just had an issue with the stream. All right. 4.8 billion. The safety and well-being of our community is our priority. Of course, they're going. Some doctors are quick to blame TikTok. Of course, they are. Just like they were happy to blame fucking jazz music. Um, yeah, this looks like you coddled her, and now she's a weak soul. Uh, First of all, look at how the parents are dressed. What is mom boots? Oh my god, yeah. I think she's broken because her parents broke her. Kayla Johnson with her parents, Brandy and Eric Johnson, at their home after a visit to a neurologist and psychologist. Kaylee has been undergoing therapy to manage her tics. You know what Kaylee should do? Join the military. The military fixes fucking mental bullshit like this in basic training. Because it gives you something real to worry about. It really does. But then you got to do 3 or 4 years doing whatever. I'm a huge proponent of the military. Only too late for me, but yeah, huge proponent. So remember the girl that could only walk backwards? What? Abs- I have never heard of that. That seems weird against society. Yeah, yeah. She strikes me already. I don't want to call anybody. What? Burden, just stop it. Kelly Johnson studies strategies for coping with tics, including learning to recognize thoughts and feelings that might trigger them. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Let me guess. She's an only child. You know, you throw all this energy into one person and then you break them. The idea that, look, parents with multiple children have to have multiple coping mechanism for each child because children are not the same. When you have one kid, you can essentially gaslight them into a lot of shit because you're in charge of their whole flow, right? And then by the time they begin stretching and becoming their own thing, by the time mine's begin to be it's starting to rain again. By the time they become stretching, you know them well enough to sort of begin to suppress shit, right? Versus having to hope like 5 kids, and like in my family, where this one begins to pop and you're trying to suppress, and then this one be, and then then eventually you give up that and just go with power and authority and mom them or dad them, right? And then they don't get it because there's a lot going on in the house, and then you leave, and your coping mechanisms become your friends who are also like, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, I really do. I gotta tell you, I meet a lot. I've said this before. I meet a lot of people I do not like because they were raised to be bullshit people by their parents, and you can't say that their parents were bullshit, right? And they will be unhappy in the world because they were not given proper coping mechanisms. Um, I'm weird for a whole different set of reasons. I'm not weird because I didn't get love at home or any of this shit. Right. I always talk about my family on this podcast. If I didn't like them, I wouldn't talk about them. Right. I'm just a weird type of person, an odd type of person. Um, yeah, but my family's great. And they taught me how to deal with people because there's a bunch of them. Uh, and if I'm sitting here going, woe is me, I feel bad. I've got like brothers and sisters who are like, man, move and get out of here with that bullshit. And they're like, I don't have time to rest in this weird little headspace because now I got to have an argument with my brother about that, right? And then you go out into the world and someone tries to make you feel that way about yourself. You can have an argument with them because you've done it before. Versus taking it and then rushing home and writing it in your diary or telling your parents will tell you, oh, it'll get better tomorrow, which is bullshit. It won't get better tomorrow. But you better fight it out. Um, Doctors say both of the teens have previously diagnosed anxiety, so they had a lot of these kids had issues before. Physical symptoms of psychological stress often manifest in ways that patients have seen before. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, one day a week, severe spasm prompted her parents to take her. Kelly Johnson, attending high school from Strickland, began developing tics after having been diagnosed with inherited disorder that affects connective tissue. She inherited some biological fuckery. Okay, the severity and frequency of her tics worsened as she began taking medication for the disorder. I don't even know what to tell you. I think a lot of this could have been fixed. Look how many rings do you need to wear? I'm telling you, man. And then it becomes your hobby. This whole mind fuckery becomes your, oh, I have to do this because I have a tick on how, and then you just become about the tick versus, I don't know, man. You're out. Uh, Desiree Jennings. Dystonia illness faker. She's an illness faker? It's a hoax. No, you mean this is fake dystonia. What the fuck is dystonia? All right, here we go. Ugh. ABC News. Let's go with this. People want attention. July 23rd, 2010, 11 years ago, was living a dream come true. The 25-year-old had a marketing job at a major company, was married to a handsome, successful man, and had challenging hobbies. She was an avid runner and a cheerleader ambassador for the Washington Redskins football team. After a routine flu shot last fall, Jennings said she began experiencing fever and painful body. The symptoms quickly progressed until she could only walk with a twisted, halted gait and had trouble reading. Experts say symptoms are psychogenic. McKay and Butler Charlton treatment of Jennings was unnecessary and ineffective. When asked by 20 about the effectiveness of the Charlton treatment, Budar, not Butter, but Budar, claimed he gets results and pointed to a patient testimonial on his website. But when pressed by Jim Avila that an anecdotal story on the internet are not science, Butler responded, nobody said it was science. But what causes Jennings' strange symptoms? Huh. All right, this story is 10 years old. That's crazy. Was it a hoax? Let's go to the next one. Where's she now? Influencers go fund me under investigation after she was accused of faking it. And yeah, I don't even know, man. All right. I don't even know. It's 8 o'clock. We've been streaming for an hour and 28 minutes. That seems like, I mean, people want attention. Why would you do that? But you know what? The human mind is a thing because some parents like poison the kids, right? Didn't we see that in several movies? What is it? Munchausen syndrome? Munchausen by proxy? Munchausen by proxy. Munchausen by property. No. Factitious disorder imposed on another. Formerly Munchausen syndrome by proxy. So now they changed the name of it to FDIA versus MSP. It was Munchausen by proxy for my generation. For the newer generation, is factitious disorder imposed on another. Factitious, a fake disorder you push on somebody. Is a mental illness in which a person acts as if an individual he or she is caring for has a physical or mental illness when the person is not really sick. You see that people blaming their kid, like saying their kid has cancer and raising money and keeping their kid sick, and then mother arrested for starving 2-year-old daughter. Judge Rouge, Arkansas mom to serve 4 years probation in the alleged case of Munchausen by proxy. American Idol Sasha Mercado's son is finally Hoem, Hoem. You mean home? Munchausen by proxy hope for ending medical child abuse. Understanding Munchausen. Arkansas mother accused of faking adopted son's terminal illness. Arkansas Attorney General files civil suit against adopted mom accused of Munchausen by proxy. A civil, so she's not going to jail, but they're going to, okay. 9 out of the, yeah, it is what it is, baby. famous cases. Famous cases. A fascinating case of much by proxy. E. Mary Beth Tinning. Tinning's story spanned from 1967 to 1985 and involves the births of her 9 children, who are suspected of having been murdered at the hands of their mother, Kathy Bush, more than 20 years ago. Wow. Lacey Spears, Lindsay Hayden Johnson, Blanca Montano, Leslie Wilfred, Hope Ybarra, Sandy Gregory Parachia. Yeah, it's not really a thing men do. Right? Oh, man. All right, this is it. That is it for us. We're ending this. It's been an hour and a half. It did not rain. Is this thing still even flowing the sweet and wonderful energy? Ugh. Yeah, it is. Of look how much it shrank down. Of sage. Man, I gotta tell you, it's a big wide world. And no matter what you think about it, you're fine. Other people are crazier than you. So think about that before you give up on that dream of being a movie star, rock star, business owner, or whatever, man. I mean, the whole thing seems crazy. Oh, are we in the 9th inning already? When did the game start? I actually watched the game you turned me on to yesterday and fell asleep during some of it. 4:30. What was I doing at 4:30? Oh, wow. Yeah, 4 hours. All right. Oops. I'm gonna set the place on fire. We are gonna end this stream, and I am gonna go watch some baseball. Because tomorrow I will likely stream with you guys 7:30 a.m. tomorrow, guys. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. 7:30 a.m. tomorrow, and I will likely stop around about 9:30, 10:30, somewhere between that hour, maybe 11:30. We've done that before, and then round about noon, 12:30. No, two great. How come I always miss the fucking good games? Oh, I will likely end up going into a football coma, which I always do, and watch like 3 games, each game 3 hours. I've given up hating myself for doing it. Yeah, my whole Sunday will be spent watching football. Let's close this. Click, boing, 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 boing. Let's close this. I'm gonna thank everybody. I'm gonna get some football in my system. Yep. You can see the smoke blowing. And I'm glad that it didn't rain, but I am glad that the wind picked up. It's gonna be awesome. With my guitar. My guitar's in the other room. Let's close this. Have a good night, William. Hopefully I see you tomorrow. If I don't, I'll see you the next time I see you. And I will still be wishing you well, no matter where I am in my day and my week. All right, so we will see you tomorrow. Remember, everyone, we're here. It's really trying to fucking rain. We're here every day, 6:30, Monday through Saturday, 6:30 at night. And Sundays, we're here 7:30 a.m. I just heard this thing pop. When it pops like that, you have to watch it because it's essentially an ember shooting out across your room. So you want to make sure that, yeah, look at it. It's really percolating. Huh? That's what we like to see. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna take this whole thing in the other room. Earth, wind, and fire, right? Drink a lot of water, burn sage. That's at least water and fire and air. And I like to plant shit, so that's dirt. So I think I'm pretty covered. I'm pretty sure God has dirty hands, right? He's a worker. His son was a carpenter. He's not a dilettante, right? He's not some dude sitting on a cloud in a spotless gown like people have been telling you. He's likely sitting up there covered in muck, trying to figure out how to get the next great thing to spin infinitely through the grand void or whatever. Either way, that's the way I look at it, and that's where I feel good about it. I suggest you look at it that way. That way, you feel less the need to be pristine and spotless in your whole flow, and you can be a little grimy as long as you get the job done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women, trees and bushes, spoons and forks, moon and stars. I, your homie, your boy, your dog, your man, am calling this one a wrap. We have been streaming for an hour and 36 minutes. We will be back tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. with coffee to talk about whatever. And it's not really a lot to talk about because it's only about 12 hours away. But it's a spiritual thing. It counts as your church on Sunday or your synagogue on Sunday. I think they have Saturday actually, and your mosque on Sunday. I don't know what they have, whether it's Saturday or Sunday. It could be Monday or Friday. I don't know, but it's us wishing you well as you start your week. And normally the shows go for an hour and a half, hour 15 minutes, hour 20 minutes. But our weekend shows, our Friday shows, Saturday shows, weekend shows, go as long as we want. So if you guys show up here tomorrow and it's super interesting, we will blaze to 4 in the afternoon from 7:30 a.m. But it's likely it won't be that. It'll likely cruise up about 4. We're not going to surprise anybody with anything. I just want to thank all of you for coming through. I know your time is valuable, and I appreciate it. I do. The time that you spent with me. I'm going to thank my man William Conway. Thanks for coming through. Everybody. I want to thank my man Biz for giving us a lovely shout out. I appreciate that, Ted. Watch Saturday Night Live tonight. Pluck your guitar. Think about a thing to cook tomorrow. Invest in you and your days, right? Because you only get a certain amount of them. And I know other people want you to invest in your days for hatred and anger and animosity. Surely you can do other shit. I mean, I'm not saying stop hating everybody and everything, but I'm saying to invest in you is important. All right, so I am officially out of here. It is 10 after the hour, at the hour of 8 p.m. I will see you in the next one, and the next one is at 7:30 a.m. tomorrow. Peace and hair grease. I'm out of here. Mwah. Gonna go watch the game. I hope the game is still going. It's the end of I'll probably miss it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. And I will see you in the next one. I always take too long to say goodbye. But I just feel like I should say goodbye versus just instantly ending it. But yeah, it is what we're used to. All right, tomorrow, 7:30. Get at me. Have coffee ready. It's gonna be fun. Peace.